Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another real review and the continuation of Daredevil Week. That is right. It is Daredevil Week where we are doing a nice, fun lead up to the release of Marvel's Daredevil Born Again. So, yesterday, if you didn't check it out, our Daredevil Season 1 review dropped. You're watching the Season 2 review now. Tomorrow, Punisher Season 1 drops. Thursday, Punisher Season 2 drops. Friday, Season 3 of Daredevil review drops. And then on Monday, the last bit of Daredevil fun leading into Born Again is the Daredevil Born Again Daredevil Mask unboxing video. So be sure to come back Monday for that and check out all these other fun reviews we're doing. But with that being said, let's dive into Daredevil Season 2, which of the 3 seasons is by far my least favorite. Despite getting Punisher introduced, this season is kind of all over the place. It's a mess, and I found myself checking out a lot. To the point where I really wanted to love it. I love aspects of it, but like I covered in my season 1 review, there was stuff I didn't vibe with from season 1 that carries over and is just like doubled down on in season 2. And first and foremost, that is the fact that Foggy knows Matt is Daredevil and it's clearly affecting their relationship. He tries to be more forgiving of Matt being late for activities that involve Nelson and Murdoch, but because he knows Matt's out there trying to do what's best, but ultimately you can still see it is bugging the ever-loving shit out of him. So there's that. I mean, there's the whole, and this is something I'll really dive into tomorrow with Punisher. They essentially give us his origin in this show, and then when you get to Punisher Season 1, it's like totally fucking different. So don't really know what to say about that. It's definitely a strange one. So there's that. But ultimately, what holds this season up where it stands are the performances by Elden Henson, Charlie Cox, Deborah Ann Woll, and Jon Bernthal as the latest addition as Punisher. But what really brings it down is the clear setup they're doing for Defenders, which, let me tell you, I knew going into this, I wasn't going to be watching it. Because I wanted to focus on the 2 Punisher seasons and the 3 seasons of Daredevil. I just remember the Defenders single-handedly destroying any want to I had to watch any of the Marvel shows not named Daredevil after it because it was such a bad crossover show. That being said, I knew I wasn't going to watch that, so I knew I was going to just keep it to these 5 shows because these 5 shows, in my opinion, seem like these 5 seasons of television seem like what is necessary to confidently and comfortably revisit and rewatch this and watch this continuation of Daredevil with Born Again. Now this is going to be shorter than season 1 because I don't like harping on stuff I'm not the biggest fan of, and the Elektra storyline is so out of place, so boring, so bad. I enjoyed a lot of Young, but like I was ready to move on. I didn't need more of her. When she dies in this, it's very much like, oh, okay, this cool. And then the last scene is her being set up for the Defenders. It's like, I don't care about this. It's not good. This is the worst storyline in the show. If you had just kept me focused on like this is the season where I can sit here and be like, this could have been streamlined and do 8 episodes. If you cut out all of the Elektra bullshit, there's a very solid 4.5 star rated show in this season. But because they were trying to set up the Defenders, and had all this Elektra bullshit going on, you get a weaker, less entertaining season where she didn't need to be in it. All she does is cause more friction between Foggy and Matt, and then Matt and Karen, which ultimately causes Nelson and Murdoch to disband, and Karen goes and becomes a journalist, taking Ben's old position, and Foggy goes off to work with his ex-girlfriend, and her boss just so happens to be the lawyer from Jessica Jones, played by Carrie Ann Moss. So, like, man, like, this is the trying too much at once. And that's what this season feels like. It's trying too much at once to do so many different things and take the story in so many different directions. And, like, I feel like we need more time to allow Foggy and Matt to have their blow up. If you're going to let it be known to Foggy so early on that Matt is Daredevil, then the blow up should have been like one of the last things of the season. It happens in like the middle point here, and it's just like, yo, why? Just it's not great. And then he ends the season by telling Deborah that he's Daredevil, or excuse me, not Deborah, Karen. Deborah is the actress's name, but she ends up telling Karen he's Daredevil, and it cuts away, and you get that carried over in the beginning of season 3. It's just like, okay, like, and when you get season 3 to like, 2 or so years later, like it wasn't a good setup, and it didn't lead to a good show in Defenders. But also, I gotta speak on Wilson Fisk again. Like, I'm very curious. What I'm more curious about is, like, we do get time with Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk, chef's kiss, perfection. But I'm still curious about how he took over the prison more so. I mean, they gave us that little abbreviated episode. But I want to know how he won over everyone. The best moment in the entire season, to me personally, is when we get our first version of the sit down between them, which happens in the season. I know one of the scenes I'm most looking forward to in Daredevil Born Again, based off the trailers, is the sit down in the diner. This is essentially the same thing, but it's a sit down in the prison. And in this case, Wilson Fisk does not know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. However, that causes him to get hints that Matt might be Daredevil, to the point where he has one of his cronies go get Murdoch's file and just also happen to get Daredevil's file, because he's starting to put 2 and 2 together. I still wish they had waited till the 3rd season to do this, but at the same time, with knowing where the 3rd season goes, I'm honestly okay with it. Because personally, and if I remember correctly, I'm still watching season 3 right now. Season 3 is my favorite. Was like the season I was like, this was the best season of Daredevil. I know the action isn't as great and interesting, but it's still a fun show. So yeah, I mean, like I said, this one I knew was going to be a shorter episode compared to the opening episode, because I didn't want to harp on I could go off on a 10-15 minute tangent about all the issues I have with the Elektra and Matt storyline, and maybe on a different day, different time, if it affects Born Again, maybe, and I follow up into that. So yeah, but that's just, if I'm gonna give the season a rating, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. It's solid. It's not great. It just kind of exists. I don't care for it. I don't intend to rewatch it again. I'm only rewatching this stuff right now because of Daredevil Born Again coming out. But yeah, it's solid. Jon Bernthal steals almost every scene he's in. Just great stuff going on there. But yeah, that's my review on season 2 of Daredevil. I'm sorry it's so much shorter than the season 1 review, but kind of fits in my opinion. So hey, with that though, remember to check out our sister channel, What Real Gaming. That is where our Twitch streams go to live to become VODs, and any clips that may come of it, that is run by one of my business partners, Taylor Cleeks. You can go check that out. That is just twitch.tv/WhatReal, and like it's spelled in that top corner right there. I already told you about Daredevil Week, so I won't go into much detail about that again, but you can go check that out. Check out Views from Metropolis, our Superman podcast. I promise that the Superman Quest for Peace episode is coming out this week. Life has just been hectic, and Chance, I want to apologize to you directly because I know how long ago we recorded that, and I love doing that episode with you. So I cannot wait for you guys to see that. Also, yesterday, shortly after my Daredevil season 1 review came out, I dropped a reaction for Andor season 2, so you can go check out the Andor season 2 reaction as well. And later today, in just a few hours, actually, probably around 3 p.m., you can check out the review for Grace Point. You can check out that movie on Apple TV and Amazon. It's an indie film, and I can't wait to share my thoughts on that film with you. But yeah, that's everything we got going on over here at Walt Real Entertainment. Also, be sure to check out our collaborative podcast with Bite Size Breakdown, a bigger bite, over on the Bite Size Breakdown channel, and I can put that in the description. And yeah, so check out everything we're doing. Check out everything I'm doing. I'm hoping that soon Jeff and I will both be on here again. I got to see if he's getting a screening for a certain Robert Pattinson movie, and I know I at least am getting a screening of a certain Jack Quaid movie quite soon. So I'm excited for that. And there may be one last final piece of Daredevil Week that is unconfirmed due to the fact of I can't confirm if I'm going to be able to do it. So there might be a special surprise on Tuesday. But with that, folks, signing off, I am Matt. This was another Real Review. We'll see you next time.